Good afternoon, friends and traders. Welcome to the Market Recap. I am Dan Hodgman. It is Tuesday, July 20th. As the title says, a little sell-off yesterday. Can't slow these stocks down today. Quite the rebound. Dow back up 600 today. NASDAQ, S&Ps right back to where we were Friday afternoon. So much for that little bit of a sell-off. Lots going on. Lots happening here today. I think the headline, though, was this morning. Another billionaire launched into space, second in the last week. Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin took off this morning. If I was reading it correctly, it was 11 minutes. They rocketed right to the edge of 65 miles off the Earth. Got into space, floated a little bit, and came right back down. It was quite the success. And word is that they've already reached $100 million in sales for the tourist flights. Pretty freaking wild. $100 million. I don't know about you guys. If I get a chance to go to space, I'm 100% taking it. I think it would be just such an adrenaline rush, and I am slightly an adrenaline junkie. That's kind of our major news. Earnings continue to still roll in. We should be seeing Netflix here any minute. Netflix is one of the big ones here coming in this afternoon. I'm curious to see how those turn out, right? We have the economy opening back up, people going back to work. Did they cancel their Netflix subscriptions? I don't know. I'm curious. I'm excited to see what happens there. But that's kind of our major news. I did see a headline today, which was kind of interesting to me, and it kind of just gave me a chuckle, being a little smart aleck. But why buying a market dip could be good and bad. Well, it can be good if you make money. It can be bad if you lose money. Simple as that, right? Definitely got a good chuckle reading that one. All right, so yields recover a little bit here today. Still not huge. I think I said this, or I referred to it a couple weeks ago. I used to trade yield spreads. I used to watch them extremely closely. And, just a few years ago, the 30-year was sitting well over that 3%. The 10-year was kind of floating that 2.7, 2.9, almost to that 3% mark as well. Well, right now, 10-year 1.24, and 30-year 1.873. So hard to buy into those if your return is relatively small. So what else do we have going on? Well, I say we go ahead, dive into these charts here just shortly. We got crude oil today, kind of trading yesterday's value area really nicely, low to high. Worked through there really, really nicely. Good opportunity there. We'll dive into that when you get the S&P and NASDAQ pretty much from this morning, bouncing off a settlement price right at the open and accelerating to the upside. Gold, on the other hand, opened up well away from settlement price, rotated right back to it. Euro, a little choppy here today. Didn't get too directional one way or the other, so we'll take a close look at that one. And like we said, yields are recovering a little bit here today. So since Treasuries opened up, 10-year note opened up, it rotated down towards settlement price and has kind of just floated. Nothing too crazy there right below settlement price. Looks like we'll end today a little lower than where we were yesterday at this time. All right, so let's take a look at these and see where that opportunity was and maybe where there were some good trade setups. So as always, let's go ahead and start with our crude oil. And like I said, crude oil today traded well within yesterday's range extremely nicely. We opened up right at the yesterday's value area low. Good opportunity. We did move through it a little bit. So we got value area low yesterday right here at 65.73. And what do we have down below catching our attention? That BFRN $65 mark right off the open. We check $65. Rejected. Let's send it back higher. And this is where we start to look for some sort of opportunity after that initial move, right? Maybe you got stopped out, though, off the open. Maybe off the open, you decided, I'm going to look for that long chance. And this is where managing your risk, keeping things extremely tight, allow you to take that second trade. Same level, same belief system, move through once, comes back, gives us a second chance. 1 and 2 times, that's not terrible if you're looking for good returns. Where are we looking for this thing to return to? Well, truthfully, I'm kind of just going to be watching near the consolidation of the overnight session right here at that 67.10. Really is where I'm paying attention to. I'm probably not even looking to see this market get right up to where we're trading right now, 67.45, yesterday's value area high. I'm kind of more towards that 67.10. So if we're taking that long down by 65.75, we're running it up. That's a nice $1.50, $1.25, $1.30 move there for us to really take advantage of that opportunity. So that's really, to me, was one of our best opportunities today to catch that move, rotating inside, fading extremes, right? Value area. If we are trading within prior day value area, I'm going to use prior day value area as my extremes and looking for my opportunities within that until the market tells me otherwise. Next, let's look at the S&P 500. Like we said, S&P opened up this morning, rotated right down to settlement price. Settlement price in this market was 42.51 quarter. 42.51 quarter. We missed it just slightly, but hey, what did we check? We checked prior day point of control. How often are we saying keep an eye on prior day points of control for an opportunity? We checked it, we bounced, and we took the heck off to the upside. So what are we looking at here? Why would we go long versus short at this price? For me, I'm really paying attention to, I've got 2 points of interest here for me. I'm looking at prior day value area. I'm looking to see if we accept inside of that. And it very quickly said no. It did not accept inside value area. It rotated higher right away off the open, and we continued to move in the upward direction. So to me, this is where you're starting to look for some sort of opportunity. You've got prior day point of control. You've got value area. You've got settlement price all right here. We can take a really cheap long. If we're going short, it's a little bit more difficult, right? Where's our stop? Where would our stop be if we decide to go short as we approach value area? Well, there's not a lot telling us too close. We're looking at quite a bit of risk to take the short. You guys know me. I'm watching those overnight swing highs and overnight swing lows. Those are really important to me. I'm not seeing anything up above this market for the short until I get closer to up here. 42.78, 42.79, 42.80 is where I'm not really seeing anything until that point. So for me to risk 20, 25 points, very difficult for me to take that trade. I'm looking for the cheap trade, the cheaper opportunity, and that's really helping me make some of my decisions at these levels. So that's really, to me, where the opportunity was. 3 points of contract down below. So we have 3 signs saying this is a good area for opportunity. How do we trade this? Well, how am I going to manage my risk? I'm not showing acceptance inside here just yet. I can take the long right away, or I can sit and hold to wait to see if we get accepted. It did not get accepted, and if you did not catch that trade right away, then you were waiting quite a bit throughout the day. And oh, how about that? Unchecked point of control from Friday has been checked. Amazing how these markets recover right to some of these levels that constantly get checked. Next, let's look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ, just like S&P 500, opened up this morning, quickly ran down. Hey, look at that. Yesterday's value area high. Settlement price, 14,540 and 3/4. We have a couple points down below. This market's checking. We move right through settlement price, right to yesterday's value area. Boom. There's a chance. Accepting or not accepting, paying attention how this market reacts. I'm probably going to be a little bit more patient here, waiting to see if we accept. And if we start to recover, we got another pullback right to settlement price. Boom. Let's see if we can get this thing to run. S&P took off a little bit quicker on us there, so that was our opportunity. As S&P was kind of the leader there. Next, let's go ahead and look at the gold. Like we said, gold opened up this morning higher away from settlement price. Settlement price 1809.20. 1809.20, which happens to be just below or just above today's point of control. Market opens up, and here's what we're looking at, right? We opened up and it popped 100%. We got a little bit of life, but it continued to see rejection up here at 1825. We're going to round it up. 1825. Tried multiple times, kept getting pushed back, kept getting pushed back, kept getting pushed back. That's a chance for us to say, hey, I'm not seeing any more buyers coming in. Sellers seem to be starting to take a little bit of control here. I'm going to try the short. And where am I going to look for this short to rotate to? I'm probably going to start to look to yesterday's value area high and see what happens. Well, we blew right through yesterday's value area high, right down to yesterday's point of control and today's settlement price, or yesterday's settlement price. That's the opportunity we want. These are the types of trades where it's telling us pretty heavily here, hey, not going to take the long here. This market doesn't want to continue higher. What's my chance? Well, if I start to see a market hitting a wall, I'm going to look for it to retrace. And what do I have down below for it to retrace to? Prior day value area, prior day points of control, settlement price. So many things to see down below. Can this market get there? And it did really nicely. And we're pretty much ending today. Not much change from yesterday. Next, let's look at the euro. Euro a little bit choppy. Very difficult trade in my opinion here today. Opened up this morning. Higher, lower, higher, lower. Very, very difficult trade. Did not come into any key levels that I'm looking at. So for me, this was a very difficult trade. I don't have much to say on this market today, in all honesty. But be completely honest with you, this is too much chop for me. This is something I'm going to avoid. All right, and lastly, let's get the 10-year note here, and we'll call it a day. 10-year note opened up higher, and then yield started to slip. This market rotated, right? When we see yields grew. We had yields moving higher. We saw some green on the yields. What should we expect with the Treasury future market? We should expect the Treasury future market to move lower if yields are going higher. They're inversely correlated. We see yields going higher. Look for Treasuries to move lower. Treasuries did. We came right down to settlement price 134.22. 134.22. And that was pretty much the trade of the day. Recognizing, same thing, not going anywhere. Yields are moving higher. Look to see this market rotate over. Come check point of control from yesterday. Check settlement price, and we've pretty much held right below that settlement price all day today. So for me, tonight into tomorrow, I'm going to be watching yesterday's value area into today's value area. I'm going to kind of combine the two, and those are going to be some levels I'll keep an eye on. So those are our markets here today. Hope you guys have all had a wonderful day so far. See some questions or comments coming in here. Just want to make sure I touch on everything. Tanya, good to see you. Jacob, Bill. Won't be interesting if Bezos and his mission saves humanity should Earth become inhabitable. Uninhabitable, correct. Algo Lover, some levels looking at in S&P, it looks like there. Ricardo, good to see you. Kevin, great rebound today. Tech and growth stocks coming back strong. Absolutely. Skeptical if ES can hold today's huge comeback. You know, Jacob, I've been skeptical for the last few months on how the equity markets continue to mark new highs. At this point, just got to accept it, right? It's tough. Norman, Dan, how many contracts do you normally trade? Norman, honestly, just depends. I'm not a crazy outright trader. A lot of stuff I'm doing is hedged, so sizing's a little bit different, and how I'm doing it might be a little bit different. If I'm going to be blunt with you, it's more than one, less than 10, usually in that range if I'm going to do anything outright, but nothing too drastic. Tried to short a couple of times and repair the damage by getting long on the pullback. Way to go, Tanya. Another good day for you. Algo, good to see you. Ricardo, didn't know this could be educational too. Nice. Well, I'm glad that's the whole point of all this here for education, here to help you guys work on your trading, see some things a little bit differently, and any questions, don't hesitate to ask. 70% on that value area there. Sean, good to see you. Just buy the dip. Hard not to. We've had a couple dips in the last few years, big sell-offs that have created some good opportunity. All right, so those are our markets here today. Let's touch on our buys, right? We got Bitcoin really holding below 30,000 for the first time in quite a while. Trading right now 29,885. Next, let's look at our Airbnb stock. We got a little bit of life here today, $136.09 there. Tesla, $660. AMC, $43, which is nice for that one. And GameStop, a nice little pop from them too, up $17.50 today, $191 there. And I do apologize. I just realized we haven't taken a look at the VIX in quite some time. Normally I'm paying close attention to this one. We got the VIX popped this morning up over 23, but really has pulled back. We're under 20 right now. 19.87 there on the VIX. And earnings, have we had Let's see. Have we had Netflix come in? I haven't seen anything yet. Netflix, miss on earnings per share, hits on revenue. We'll see how that plays out in the stock there. Everything else seems pretty darn good here today. Tomorrow, earnings, a couple to pay attention to. Bigger day in earnings. Johnson & Johnson, that'll be good one. Coca-Cola, Verizon, Texas Instruments, Discover, NASDAQ's going to be tomorrow. Northern Trust, Harley-Davidson, just to name a few. Those ones will be tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, let's take a look at our economic calendar, right? We always want to be looking ahead at the next day. What should I expect tomorrow? Well, tomorrow, nothing crazy to expect. 20-year bond auction. Remember, 20 years relatively new, reintroduced. It was there a while back, came back within the last year. So that auction will be at noon. And at 9:30 a.m. Central Time, those of you that are crude oil traders, keep your eyes on that EIA Petroleum Status Report. And then that'll be about it for tomorrow. So last thing here today, the irony, the ironicness into it, I think it's all planned. But this date in history, in 1969, Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. And in 2021, Jeff Bezos launched himself into space. Pretty ironic there. I feel like it was all set up on purpose that way. All right. I think I had one more. Yes, 1976, Viking 1 lands on Mars. So it's a day in our history for space travel. Walking on the moon, landing on Mars, and billionaires in space. How about that? On that note, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign on out of here. Don't forget, John will be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central Time with the market forecast. And tomorrow, this time, we won't be having a recap, but I will be sitting down here, same time, same channel, with founder Michael Patak. So make sure you guys join us, bring in some questions and comments, and would love to see your guys' faces, or I should say names there. And Michael and I will be sitting down for, I don't know, anywhere from a half hour to an hour, answering questions and talking about some of the things going on here at Top Step and what's to come. So until then, you guys have a great day. Stay safe, wash your hands, trade smart, and trade well. I look forward to seeing you guys in the markets. Take care, everybody.